This video was recorded with the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable. Skip it up and that up! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Rich of Review Tech USA, and if you're in the fashion industry and find this good looking, then you need to kill yourself. No, I'm serious. Jump off a bridge right now. All Sony's doing is talking specs, and you know what? Specifications don't matter. This video shout out goes to YouTube user tazmanianchocobo. I'll have a link to his channel below in the description. And Xbox exec Albert Pinello believes comparing specs between the Xbox One and PS4 is, let me quote him, in some ways meaningless. This is what he had to say, and I quote, "The problem is that Sony decided to go out and publish a bunch of numbers, which are in some ways meaningless. Because this isn't like 1990 when it was 16-bit versus 32-bit. They actually go out and talk about how proud they are about their off-the-shelf parts. Our guys will say, we touched every single component in the box," the Xbox One he's talking about, "and everything there is tweaked for optimum performance." He continues, "Here's what you care about. You bought a system to play great games and have great experiences. I feel like our games and experiences are going to be every bit as good, if not better. Technically, on top of all the magic we're going to add with instant switching and the power of the cloud." I heard the same exact argument last generation, and it's a pointless argument because people are debating things which they don't know about. They're not head silicon engineer Nick Baker or corporate vice president of IEB Software Todd Homdahl, and I'm not lead PS4 architect Mark Cerny, so why are we having this conversation? Now look, I've read the specs on both consoles. I know that on paper, the PS4 in some aspects is significantly more powerful. It'll be interesting to see real-world performance because I know that the Xbox One has the 32 megabytes of SRAM, which is supposed to make up for the limitations of the DDR3 RAM they're using, and so on and so forth. And I hear that because there is no SRAM in the PS4, it's going to be easier to code for, and they have the more bandwidth with the higher speed GDDR5 RAM. I hear conflicting reports back and forth on how much of a gap there'll be in performance between the Xbox One and PS4. It'll be interesting to see when games come out, especially like 2 to 3 years into the next-gen console life cycle. That's when we'll really see if there is a performance difference. But obvious butthurt here is obvious, though. I mean, you could hear when I read that article, and I tried to portray it when I read what he was saying, that he was pissed off. He's like, well, why are we even talking about this? Why are we even talking about that the PS4 is more powerful? Who cares? Like, he was like getting really defensive. It's like, you know what's funny is that I guarantee you this. If the Xbox One had the superior hardware specs, even if it only meant like 59 frames a second on the PS4 and the Xbox One had 60 frames a second in Battlefield 4, if it was 1 frame per second, they would have not shut up about it for months on end. I guarantee you. But because it's the other way around, and Sony has the upper hand in the hardware department, it's, what does it matter? What's the big deal? Who cares? It's 2013, not 1990. We're not talking bits anymore. Really? Really, we're going there? And the thing is funny, don't you think in the future, if that whole cloud computing thing actually, you know, everyone has the bandwidth with the internet across the world, and that actually becomes a thing where every game is using cloud to help compute different graphics and animations on the screen, don't you think Sony's going to do that too? So not only are they going to have the superior hardware, they're going to be able to tap into the cloud to help with computing. So they'll still be able to kick your ass in theory. Like I said, I want to see real world performance, but the bottom line with this article is, you're funny, Microsoft, because you don't have the upper hand in the hardware. It's not a big deal. But I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have smeared it all over Sony's face. Oh man, corporate PR, you gotta love it. Anyway, folks, make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have an interesting news story you would like me to discuss, private message me with a link via YouTube. And if I use your news article, I will give you a shout out in the video and feature your YouTube channel in the description. Have a good one.